welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. It's County Commissioner segment time today, and we have with us County Commissioner Fred Beard and Road Manager Jason Burns. And Fred, you were, Jason was talking about that list of projects that's coming up. You have the actual piece of paper there you were looking at.
Well, it's the to-do list from the damage. It's all been reassessed, and they're working on it. We're actually going to go look at some roads today. And get on with, like I say, the big FEMA not necessarily FEMA, but the big push to complete some big projects by the end of fiscal year has been done. So there's some motor graders are freed up, and some of the stuff that's been done has already washed out. So I'm sure Jason's going to deal with all of that.
It's an uphill battle, especially as it's still raining and we're expecting more. So,
yeah.
But we're not going to say we don't want it. We need every drop we can get. So,
well, I think Brantley Lake has risen tremendously in the last
few. It's backed up all the way to the highway, and I haven't seen that
since 2014.
Yeah. Hopefully the campers and everybody got out of there in time.
I don't know how you can get. There's no beaches anymore. It's in the brush all the way that I could see coming up this morning.
Yeah.
But this is not unusual. Now I'm the old guy around here. I understand that. But what we just had used to happen at least once a year, and to a lesser degree, the canyons come up and run 2 or 3 times a year. Now, it's been a long time since we've had a big run like this, but with, we go back to 2014, but I've seen these canyons run big other times before and after 2014. But it has been a long time. Memories are short on some of that. But
yeah.
But and I don't think we're through this year. It used to do this 2 or 3 times every year back in the old 70s and 80s. Maybe not so much the 90s. That was a big drought. But hopefully we're getting back to normal. So.
Now back up towards Queen and Sitting Bull Falls. Was there some damage up in that area? That because I think the Sitting Bull Falls was closed for a little while.
Yeah. There was a little bit of damage up around Queens, and the issue with the roads up there around Queens is when it rains heavy up there, the roads become the drainage channel. So we go up there and we've carried material, and they're actually up there working on those right now. And Sitting Bull Falls, from my understanding, is still closed, and I think that's more closed not necessarily due to the damage of the road, but because of the debris that was carried down and that they're trying to remove from the actual Sitting Bull Falls, so get it cleaned up again. So that was my understanding of what's going on up there.
Because that's a state.
Yes,
that's a state park.
We maintain a road up to a certain point, and then it becomes state, and I actually think it's paved up there to a certain way. So I haven't been up there in quite a while.
Yeah,
but I do know that's kind of a joint deal.
Gotcha.
I know Last Chance was, of course, it's state road.
Yeah.
But it was in pretty poor condition. And I think some of the Dark Canyon Road, I know I got a report. There's a couple of crossings that are down to 1 lane on some of the upper Dark Canyon stuff in that area. But it's kind of on the list over here.
Well, you're right, Fred, that this does happen from time to time. Anytime you do get a chance to drive out on some of the county roads, I was out month or so ago out in some rural roads, and you get into those dips, and when the signs has a 12 and a 10 and an 8 you go, this can get pretty deep pretty fast.
It
if
does,
you can't see the sign anymore, maybe you shouldn't try to cross.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's a good thing. And that was one thing that happened in Carlsbad. There was one gentleman that apparently went around the barricades and got swept away by the floodwaters. And so we try to reiterate as often as we can when the county or the city or anybody puts out those barricades on those crossroads there.
They're there for a reason.
Right. So don't.
If you're gonna have a look, don't pull right up to the edge of the water to have a look. At least stay 100 feet back, because that stuff can come up suddenly.
Yep.
And, it can take you off your feet real quick if you're not paying attention. I think most people would see that coming, but if you're outside the car and that hits, it may roll that car right over the top of you.
Yeah. So be careful. Fred, let's turn to the guys met yesterday. County Commission met yesterday.
Yes.
And you got some highlights you want to share with us?
I do. We can kind of run over the agenda here. We always start with service awards. This time we had a 10-year award in the finance department for Jessica Steiger. It was a short list this time. Usually there's several people with 5, 10, or 15-year notices, but one this time. In this area, we did some IFP awards for Eagle Draw Flood District. That's the one right above town here. They're going to do some brush management in there, and they're going to do some dirt work to kind of clear that up and get going. So we awarded some bids on that. We had a couple new county fire trucks in the parking lot, and those were pretty interesting. I should have paid attention to what they cost, so I'll probably get a call on that. But these are big tankers. They carry 4,000 gallons of water, and as far as county fires, they can drive down a road and spray a 50-foot wet line for, what did they say, quarter of a mile?
Oh yeah, those are when, especially the majority of our grass fires that we experience are off the side of the road in the bar ditches, due to chains dragging or something, people throwing cigarettes or whatever the cause may be. So a lot of those times, if we can go out and turn those sprayers on and drive down the side of the road, that really helps with containing those and getting those mopped up.
Yeah, and they can spray that wet line 50 feet, and I think it's not a mile, but it's part of a mile.
Yep.
And then if you do have a big grass fire, you can go outside of that and start a backfire going the other way and have a good black line to stop it when it comes your way. These trucks are going to make a difference. So
good.
And
you got 2 of them.
Got 2 of them.
Okay.
So, and that was a pretty big deal. We also are going to send a letter to the United States Fish and Wildlife Service requesting an extension on the comment period for the old prairie chicken. It's back. I'm sure everybody's heard about it. I think a lot of people are doing that. I'm very hopeful that when they assess this thing, now that the drought is over with, if we didn't drown them all, they'll make a comeback and maybe they'll back off on that.
Yeah.
But this has hit pretty suddenly, and a lot of people need more time to respond to that. So the county's going down that road. Another thing that came up was up here in this area, and it's east of Artesia. There's 80 acres of private land that's been landlocked for years, and nobody can get to it. We awarded a bid on that. The surrounding properties was the only one that submitted a bid, the winning bid. So they got that. So that's something we can take off the plate, and everybody will be happy about that.
So the county owned the land?
The county owned 80 acres. It was totally landlocked.
Okay.
Private property.
So somebody has an adjoining
all the way around it, adjoining property. He managed to get that done. So,
okay.
And then some discussion on weed ordinances.
Okay.
No pun intended, but
now which weed are we talking about?
People are going to be able to grow it outside.
That weed.
Be able to grow it in the front yard, the backyard. There's a lot of nuisance weeds out there. We're going to add that to the list. How are we going to handle all of the new found freedom for marijuana? As one comment was made, there's folks sitting on their front porch in town smoking it, they can, it's legal. Are we going to have the same controls with that we have on alcohol? Can you build it? Can you do it next to I think there's some restrictions on next to a school. What about next to churches? So I don't know where all that's going to go.
Right. They didn't put local option in, so Eddy County as a county couldn't vote yes or no. You have to allow the sales of it, but there are some options, I guess, that the counties and the municipalities have.
Everybody can have like 3 plants inside and 3 outside, something of that nature, and the things get pretty big, so So I don't know where it's all going to go. We're going to find out over the next few months.
Well, so just so we can be clear, you're not talking about weeds like invasive species of plants that grow up in sidewalks and on the sides of roads that need to be mowed and
there
cut.
are ordinances on that. Maybe we'll just add that to the list. So,
Classified as a weed, and then you can do it that way. Now, did the county? I don't think the sheriff's department had drug dogs, or if they did, they've retired theirs.
Yeah,
I
think the county, the city, everybody.
Carlsbad had them, and they
well,
worked with
yeah,
them.
the county worked via the city.
The sheriffs have an MOU, an agreement with the city to, when they need them, they work real good with the city. And I actually think the drug dogs are part of the Eddy County Drug Task Force when they go out. So
Right.
I know there's communication and coordination there when and if they're needed they bring them over. And I'm not so sure, we might not contribute a little bit to the training of those dogs.
Yeah, but because of this legalization, the dogs are having to be retired because it's very difficult, if not impossible, to detrain them to hit on marijuana, and so they're having to train a whole nother set of drug dogs.
I
now.
think they're trained for a variety of deals, and really I think they concentrate on more of the opioids and that are really, and I don't mean to say this, but more of a bigger problem than the marijuana.
No, I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
The problem, according to Sheriff Gage, is if they use those drug dogs and they are trained to hit on marijuana, and you get into court, what's the defense attorney going to do with that?
Yeah. Oh no.
Even if they're going to, the whole case is
the whole case goes out. So has the committee, or has the county commission formed any kind of committee? Who's working on what your county ordinance? I guess we should call it a pot ordinance as opposed to a weed ordinance.
No, this was the first discussion.
First discussion on it. Okay.
In an open meeting, and I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows where this is going to go. I'm pretty sure not very many people down here in this conservative county really wants to even deal with it, but we're going to have to. So
yeah. Well, I saw a story this morning. Arizona is about to surpass Colorado.
I heard you on
in terms of
morning, yeah.
tax revenue from legalized marijuana sales. And so maybe that's what people like our governor are looking at, some of those numbers. And
well, that's what they're looking at, which is fine, I guess. I mean, I don't think they'll lower taxes on anybody else if it does get to that point.
Oh, no.
But
they're not replacing any tax revenue with this money.
And this is probably as much a tax bill as it is anything else. They could have just decriminalized it, and that would have been the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have affected the drug dogs and some of the other stuff, but no, they want the tax. So, and if anybody thinks that tax over the next few years is not going to incrementally go up and up and up.
Yeah. Well, what are you hearing from your folks in your neck of the woods? I mean, does there seem to be an acceptance that this is coming and we need to kind of figure out a way to make it happen, or is the consensus of what you're hearing, control it as much, but wrangle it in as much as you can?
Beyond the offhanded, snarky comments, I've not really heard much from anybody. It's kind of accepted. I think everybody's been seeing this coming from a long time. Where it'll start and the concerns will start when the sales go up and the storefronts open up, and somebody next door neighbor sitting on the front porch smoking with a 6-8 foot couple of plants in the backyard, and that's when we're going to start hearing complaints. So,
Mm-hmm.
but right now, not much. I mean, it's I think about half-hearted been accepted.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where this is going to wind up or go. But the comment, and I've made it right here before. If this is such a good deal, and states have made so much money, and it's been a profound success in, what are we up to, 17 states? We made 16, 17.
18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Where is
plus DC and Guam.
where is the governor of those states, the powers that be, that are standing up, pounding their fist on the table and saying this has been a resounding success. It's worked just the way they planned it, and we love it, and our communities love it. Where is that state? You know, and there's a reason for that, because it's not working out real good. You heard the comments, you mentioned it this morning. Colorado is already having regrets. I think other states are too. This is, I don't know, it's just, should have been a better way to handle it. Decriminalize it and get on with it.
But at least from now, the county is joining other counties and municipalities, and you're going to have to work out some kind. Would it be an ordinance, or what would it be?
I don't know. And I don't know
yet.
If we have any authority. It's going to be a bigger problem for the city of Carlsbad and the city of Artesia than it is the county, because there's, talking about the plants in the backyard and, the neighbors sitting outside. I'm sure some of that's probably going on right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of the guy that just bought 80 acres that wants to have a
warehouse. Or a greenhouse.
A greenhouse, yeah. Well, we got to have water for that.
Well, Brantley's full.
We'll figure out something. Anything else from the meeting yesterday,
No, that pretty
Fred?
well covered it. We were looking at a record for the shortest meeting. We didn't quite get there. We had an executive session that held.
So what is the record?
I'm not sure what that is.
I know we're getting close to under 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're moving through it.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I think I'd be curious to see what kind of reaction you get from the public on the marijuana ordinances. And like you said, it's probably going to be more in the municipalities in Artesia and Carlsbad than it would be out in the county, because out in the county, I guess there's an expectation that the county doesn't have as many zoning type restrictions in the county as what you expect in the city.
One thing I brought up in comments is, this redistricting is sneaking up on us pretty quick. We got a guy up there in Artesia, or in Roswell, that's doing a lot of the local stuff, and everybody knows that's who I'm in favor of. Artesia just recently did the final approving for New Mexico demographic research, and we need to get that done and let these guys get on with it. So
yeah.
And then there's those other guys that hail out of the Rio Grande Valley over there. So
yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting battle.
And I'll let it go with that, or I'll be in trouble again.
It's going to be an interesting battle to get it figured out. Jason, was there anything else you'd like to add or mention before we finish up today?
No, we just really appreciate all the commissioners' support, and we've been able to do a lot of really big and great things with the support and the initiative that they've given us, and we look forward to moving forward
Now you still have if residents want to report potholes and road issues, they go to the county website?
We do still have the road tracker. It is working, and that's actually one of the things they're out working on right now. Just go to the county website, and there's a place to report a concern. Get on there, fill out the information, and it goes directly to the appropriate road manager, and we get those addressed as they come in. So that's a deal that we've put in place, and it really seems to work, and has helped us with some of our prioritization and planning, because when we get, we can usually kind of guide and see where some of our bigger problems are, and that's kind of how we've done those things. So yes, it is still in place, and please utilize it.
Very good. Jason Burns, thank you so much for being with us. Fred, thank you for being with us today. We always appreciate when you come by and chat with us and see what's going on the county level there.
It's fun. So far, so good.
So far, so good. That's great. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll wrap up the hour right after this. Don't go away.